Old Nintendo Gamer.
And son.
We were going to do this topic anyway, which is looking toward a better year. 2020 was a bit dull for Nintendo themselves. And Sam asked us this little quick question before we get things kicked off. Sam asked us this from a forum. What game are you looking most forward to in 2021, Nick? Games we know about, that is.
Hollow Knight, without a shadow of a doubt. 100% Hollow Knight.
For me, it's going to be Monster Hunter Rise. For games we know about, really looking forward to. Peaks and troughs. Sometimes I'm thinking, I don't know if I got the time to play it. Other times I'm looking at a video going, oh, it looks so good. Can't wait to play that, especially online. So that's a quick answer to that. What we do know is coming is in January, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is coming in 2021. In February, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Little Nightmares 2 and Persona 5 Strikers are coming. Also, smaller games, well, actually Bravely Default 2 is not quite such a smaller game, that's coming in February. Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection and that Capcom Arcade Stadium is also coming in February. March is Monster Hunter Rise and Story of Seasons. April to May, we know nothing is coming. June, apparently this is coming in the summer, but I put it in June just to give a specific date. Lego, the Skywalker Saga, so Star Wars, and Spelunky 1 and 2 are coming. And then in Q2 sometime, Monster Hunter Stories 2, and that's it. Q3, 4, we know absolutely nothing. So we're opening this big topic here to some predictions, and we're going to go through quarters. And what do we think is coming, Nick? Starting off with Q1, or what is Q4 2020, January to March fiscal year, it is Q4. For me, to start things off, I think we'll see a big direct in January.
Really, that early?
Yeah, we're going to do it. Let's do it. It's going to focus on Zelda's 35th. They're going to get this kicked off because I didn't realize it was that early. Zelda's 35th will be in February.
Okay. So it's very early, isn't it?
So I'm hoping that this big direct, whether or not the Zelda's 35th will be part of it or a separate direct focusing on it like the Mario direct was, but we'll have a direct of some sort. Zelda will focus in it or completely solely on it. And we'll see things released such as a 3-game bundle, just like the Super Mario 3D All-Stars. We're going to see a Zelda 3D All-Stars. It's going to be Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, because that's the quickest and fastest thing they can put out. They're going to do nothing to Wind Waker, nothing to Twilight Princess. Those are just the HD versions from the Wii U. But they will touch up Ocarina as they did with Mario 64.
So it's going to be the N64 version?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Pass.
But it's going to have touched up textures, maybe a better draw rate, all that, It's going to look better like Mario 64, but it's going to be the 64 version. Yeah. I don't see them putting a 3DS version
20 frames a second, though, that one.
Maybe they can sort something out. And we'll see that, just teaser, that Link's crossbow training AR toy I mentioned last year, which is a rework of the Mario Kart live home circuit, where you'll have a Link with a camera situated in his face, and he has 360-degree motion, so you can turn around using your Switch, turn around completely in your room, and do a Face Raiders AR-style game where you're shooting targets in your living room. That's my big prediction for the first quarter of 2021, Nick. How about you?
Okay. I think we'll see a mini direct in January with some stuff that's coming until the end of March. And then at the beginning of March, we'll see a big direct where they'll go into a lot of detail about Monster Hunter Rise and the new Switch that's coming out at the end of March.
What's the kind of turnover, like 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's going to be, because if they say in January or February there's a Switch coming out at the end of March, then nobody's going to buy the regular Switch because they'll know the next one's coming. So I think it's going to be a very short turnover. We might even hear about it before it happens. Something will get leaked, but I do think middle to end of March we might see a new Switch, just to give Nintendo that little push over the line for the end of the fiscal year, to get them way over 25 million sales, probably. That's another prediction. I think they'll sell over 25 million Switches this fiscal year.
They can't be far off it already, I think.
And I think that will be down to massive sales of a slightly improved Switch. So what we've already seen with the better battery, we'll see again, but with slightly better clocks. And it'll be a 3DS style update, like with the new 3DS. So we won't really be that noticeable, but for example, a game will be slightly more stable at 30 frames or 60 frames a second. If it's dynamic resolution, it won't go down so low, or it'll hold more steadily at the higher rates. Slightly inclined to say that it'll have DLSS and 4K, but only for the menus, not for anything else. Definitely not in-game. Or maybe in-game with time if they update some stuff, but that kind of stuff needs to be worked into it. But we'll see. I do think a new machine's come in, and I do think it's going to address some of the issues. I still think it's going to be 720p. I still think it's going to have big bezels. But I do think they will have figured out something for the Joy-Cons in some way. Whether they change like shape or not is another question, but I think they will have, they should have really 4 years after the original launched. I think they will have sorted out or changed the materials in the Joy-Con so that drift becomes a thing of the past. So yeah, very, very incremental update. As the way the console looks, I don't think there's going to be anything, much, if anything at all. And it's just going to be slightly longer battery life, slightly better frame rate, resolution, depending on the game, and a little bit more power, which with patches most games will take advantage of. And in the future, games will look slightly better. And
Zelda Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity will at least run
30 frames a second, yeah.
It's needed. And as they drop it, they'll go, hey, all that footage of Monster Hunter Rise, you're seeing it running on the Pro. Because it does look a nice game. I got two little more predictions, which kind of tiny little things, but Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury will sell phenomenally well. But the extra content will be minimal.
Oh, of course.
And the online will be worse than Mario Maker 2's. They've now got an extra dimension to plot your location in, and if they can't do it in a 2D platformer, there's no way in hell that it's going to run online in a 3D platformer. So good luck playing online with a bunch of friends there.
I don't know. Well, Splatoon works fine online. Maybe it'll be similar.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
I don't know. I think it's something to do with the 2D stuff for Mario Maker and how responsive it needs to be. I think the online for the 3D World could be okay, but I think you're right about there being absolutely minimal new content. Yeah. I think it'll be, maybe another world, like 4 or 5 levels.
Yeah, I'd say maximum of 8 levels. It's not going to be as extensive as people wish it to be, I don't think. And then my last one is Monster Hunter Rise is going to let me down in that if you played Monster Hunter on the 3DS, the game was region locked. But not only that, the online was region locked, so Japanese hunters could only play against Japanese players. And I had a European copy of Monster Hunter for you, for example, and I could only play with Europeans. I couldn't even play with Americans. It was region locked. Oh no, I believe I could play with Americans. I think it was Western versus Eastern kind of thing. I believe that's going to happen again. I don't know why, but Capcom just don't learn. And instead of opening it up to the world, the Switch is open, it's region free, we'll lock this and we'll have Japanese hunters only together, which would upset me, being so close to Japan and being readily and easily available to find matches. But that's another disappointment. Anything else for quarter? I'm going to call that quarter 4.
Yes, one more prediction.
Yeah.
Super Mario 35 and 3D All-Stars will not disappear at the end of March.
Oh, good call.
I think they'll extend, not for long, but I think they'll extend maybe for a month or two. They'll say, okay, it's really going now. You have to buy it soon, just to try, and get a few more extra
those
sales.
extra sales. Yeah. Is your last chance.
Yeah.
And as we move into the next fiscal quarter, April to June, I've got exactly the same thing. March 31st date passes, and Nintendo continue to offer 3D All-Stars and 35 indefinitely, I've got, though. They say, that's... like they've done with Tetris 99. It went past its sell-by date, and they went, we'll continue to support this for as long as feasibly possible. We're not saying we're going to do it forever, but it sounds like forever. I think they'll do that as well. It will continue past that date anyway. Because 3 All-Stars is just selling too well not to continue, to be honest, in my eyes. The big one for me, I don't know when we'll see its announcement, but we'll see Mario Golf selling and being available from Camelot, as usual, in May or June, late May, early June, as that summer game. So far, I've got... Yes, Super Mario 3D World is here, and there'll be a few bits and pieces for Zelda, but the big game for Nintendo this year, Mario Golf in, say, June. There'll be a quick announcement, release turnaround, like Pikmin 3 was, within a month. So we're looking at, if that comes out in June, a May Direct, early May Direct, and then bump, it's out and about. But the first quarter, this April to June, is going to be incredibly quiet.
A pretty good prediction, to be honest. Historically
No
based.
More Heroes 3 might be released during this quarter. Maybe. Probably later, but I'm going to stick my neck on the line here and say it'll be released in May. No More Heroes 3. Anything from you, Nick?
I think it's going to be quiet as well. I think we might see Hollow Knight in this period. Actually, and if the new Switch comes out, I do think we might see in April a change to Nintendo Switch Online. But what that change will be, what form it takes, whether that's N64 and GameCube or something like that, I'm not sure. But I think once the new system's out, they've made that extra home menu button for a reason, and I think we might see a change either at the very end of March or the very beginning of April connected with Nintendo Switch Online. Something may be added or a change into how the system works. But what, I can't say. That's just my wild prediction.
In relation to the new hardware as well?
Could be, yeah. Could be.
Yeah. Something I keep on forgetting as well, Pokemon is going to be 25 years in 2021. And maybe we'll see something in the first quarter, that April to June. Mobile games.
April to June, Pokemon
like
Snap.
Pokemon Snap, do you reckon?
I think, I think it's going to come out in the first half of the year, to be honest. Pokemon Snap. And I think we might see an unannounced game from Nintendo as well. Like it'll be a port or an update of something.
Small.
It won't be something big.
Thing.
Yeah.
So moving on to quarter 2, which is July to September. This is when we'll see a big E3 Direct, Nick. And I haven't said what's it going to be. I have said one thing, which will be in the E3 Direct. Something that we won't see released in 2020, and it's Monolith Soft's new IP.
Oh, yeah, good call. Yeah.
I think
it won't be released this year, but we'll see.
No, it won't be released. We'll see it. We'll see it's touted as people are thinking it's Xenoblade 3, but no, it'll be a new IP completely.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. Gonna go for it. Put my neck on the line again. More Knights and Dragons based, but utilising their RPG know-how and big open worlds.
Well, I'll go different then. I'll say
better.
Xenoblade 3 will be revealed.
Yeah.
At E3. I think, I think it's going to be a very good E3. I think we'll see Metroid Prime 4. I think we'll see gameplay of Breath of the Wild 2, and we'll see gameplay of No More Heroes 3 and Bayonetta 3. So for me personally, that would be an excellent E3, especially if we saw Xenoblade as well. And I would hope that we would finally be past the life was difficult, everything was rubbish because of coronavirus, and companies are just working as they were before. but slightly more efficiently because of the changes they've implemented. And I think, hopefully we have an E3, first of all, a real one. And hopefully Nintendo have, after a year of not very much, to be honest, and a lot of delays and a lot of problems, hopefully they're ready to come back with a bang to support the brand new system that they released in March.
And the big bang for me is obviously Monolith Soft's. But I reckon they're going to show Splatoon 3 as well.
Really?
And it's going to be quite a quick turnaround, and that'll be out within a month as well.
Wow.
So, like a late summer game there. Late June will be the direct one. Yeah, the direct. So, we're talking like the middle of July to late July. Bang, Splatoon 3 is out.
Cool.
Not predicting any kind of what kind of gameplay it is, but if it's that kind of free-to-play model, they could drop it even earlier, I think, and say, look, it's out now. Get on there. We could be adding content over the next thing. Get buying your Squid equipment with real money, that stuff. Yes. And No More Heroes 3, like you said, I think that'll come out in August. I think it's ready for that, possibly. I did say maybe May, but probably later, so it could come anytime.
I think, I'm going to say in this quarter, maybe let's say September, No More Heroes will come out, No More Heroes 3. I think it'll come out before Bayonetta 3, for sure.
Yes, same here, definitely. Whether it'll be the... It's a massive range. I mean, May to August, they could get it out early and go, right, it's done. Bang, it's out. That's an early date. But no, August sounds about right. September, okay. Something from Ubisoft, Mario and Rabbids 2 will be dropping. Releasing in September, so that'll be another quick turnaround one. They've been working on that. And two more little things. Pokemon Company won't be happy with the way that the sales of the expansion passes. I have no numbers to prove this, but I have a feeling that the expansion passes haven't sold as well as a third title would have. So they will release a third title in the Sword and Shield franchise, whatever you want to call it. Axe, for example. Pokemon Axe.
Pokemon Hammer.
Will release in September.
Wow.
And it will sell like hotcakes and vindicate them to always release a third edition in their series. I believe that they will milk that Sword and Shield one more time. And my last one is that, and I keep my fingers crossed for this one is really throwing the boat out here. There's going to be a new Pilot Wings title.
Oh. It's
going to be shown in the Direct.
Yes, please.
Beautiful looking game with many different places and islands you can go to.
Including Woohoo Island.
That's the one. Archipelago Adventures. But it won't be coming until early 2022.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit of a wait.
That's a nice winter game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a feeling of a winter game, yeah. You could have some like snowy landscapes and all that as well to sell it.
It's just a kind of chilled out, relaxing, get all the big hits out in November and December, and then January
and then
kind of
sail into the new year. Yeah.
I've got no predictions
Anything
for this
else?
period, to be honest. Except No More Heroes 3. I don't think we'll see anything big. We'll see a port or two, probably from Nintendo. But I don't think there's going to be any big games in this period. Maybe something original, but my money would more likely be on ports, to be honest. Ports of something from the Wii U, or maybe Xenoblade X. But who knows?
Yeah, that is quite a possibility, yeah.
Maybe Devil's Third.
They could kind of do Monolith Soft's new Xenoblade 3, and then X is coming out next month.
Which I would definitely
get. Us ready for it. Yeah, I get X again as well, yeah.
Terrible.
So you're expecting a big blowout now for the last quarter 3, October to December? Get us kicked off?
I think we'll have one new original IP.
Okay.
No idea what it could be. Breath of the Wild 2 will come out this year. I think in November or December. And possibly Bayonetta 3. But I'm not 100% sure about that. I think it might come out this year. In October or November.
Yeah, I have a feeling about the Halloween time Bayonetta 3 will release. I wrote that down, yeah. It feels that, she's a witch and all that, it kind of sits well, so they'd be pushing for that date. I believe it will be out before the end of this year, but it is going to be later, yeah. And as we were saying in the news earlier with a Kirby game, I believe a new Kirby game will be released in October, November as well. The new Pokemon Snap was supposed to come out in October. It'll be mentioned in the Nintendo Direct in E3. But it's delayed until early 2022.
Oh, really?
Pokemon Company, Bandai. Who's with it? Namco, is it?
Bandai
Namco?
Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't got this act sorted out and they're not happy with it, so it'll be delayed. And Nintendo's big Christmas game, I'm not predicting a good year for Nintendo again, is Super Mario Party 2.
Enthralling.
That's for the kind of casual crowd. I think Nintendo will make a few missteps in that because Switch has been selling so well and they haven't been pushing their kind of IPs and everything this year. They're kind of going to sail through next year and make the kind of mistakes that they made in the past. And nothing much is going to come out again. Maybe we'll see like an October Direct showing Metroid Prime 4 for 2022. And they'll drop the Metroid Prime Trilogy HD late this year.
There's one prediction I can
it.
definitely get behind. 100%. I would put money on this. There will be no Metroid games in 2021. Because every single year we say, there's going to be something from Metroid this year, whether it's, a remake of Samus Returns, Prime Trilogy, we'll see a video of Metroid Prime 4. No. Next year, there'll be nothing. And then if there is, we can be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think this year, obviously, last year wasn't great. The year before also wasn't that strong, especially after the first year. I do think Nintendo will have a much better year next year. But I'm also wary that they could just mess it up again. Like, we know the company very well. But I'm certainly starting the year a little bit more hopeful. I think by the end of quarter one, we should have a good idea. At the end of quarter four, financial year, end of March, we should know what's coming, or what to expect at least. But we'll see.
I'm predicting kind of that there will not be a revision to the Nintendo Switch this year.
Okay.
No, nothing at all. They'll keep on riding this regular Switch out for as long as possible because it's so popular at the moment. But I think that will be a slight downfall, chinks in the armor, but there'll be a slight downfall from over-reliance on what it's doing now without trying to keep the momentum of the Switch brand by releasing a new model, which they could do. I think they're ready for it and could potentially do it, but they won't because they'll keep on riding this out as long as they want, but they'll ride it out for too long. And the popularity of the Switch by the end of 2021 will decline, and then as PS5 and Xbox
start growing,
the Switch gets left behind and forgotten. They will then be trying to backtrack and trying to sell, reinvigorate maybe the Christmas market with this Switch Pro, maybe towards the end, or maybe early 2022, and it'll be a little bit too late for them, I think. I think they're going to miss the boat here and shoot themselves in the foot, unfortunately. And games like Super Mario Party 2 and Kirby again is just not going to do it for us. And I'm predicting a shocker of a year for Nintendo, maybe. Not a shocker, but not like it's been this year. And maybe hope that they'll pleasantly surprise me in the opposite direction.
It's the best way to approach these things, I think, with Nintendo. Expect the worst, be pleasantly surprised if you're not disappointed.
Is there anything in particular you think they won't show this coming year? We've had Metroid Prime from you, that's not coming.
Yeah, I think, Metroid's the big one. I mean, I know I said in E3 they might show a trailer, but it definitely won't be gameplay. And I don't think we'll really see. I think Breath of the Wild, with it being Zelda's anniversary, Zelda's going to be the big one this year. As for remakes and remasters,
Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, I think it'll come. I think December it'll come. or October, November, December. In that period, it'll come out, and I do think we'll see some kind of tribute to the Zelda, like the 35th anniversary. But to be honest, if it is Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, exactly the same as they were on the Wii U, I won't be buying that because I played through them not that long ago, and I've still got the copies. I mean, if they did something with Ocarina or Majora's Mask or Skyward Sword, then that's where I would be willing to jump in. But if it's what you said,
Yeah, I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah, I wouldn't bother. Yeah, just skip that one.
I've been the same kind of apathy about the 3D All Stars from Mario. You know, it's kind of like I played them all. Why I don't want to go back to those particular titles. I think we will see something on Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but it won't be released this year.
No.
It's not going to be an apology video, but it's going to be a blowout video showing toward the end of the year, maybe saying this is Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, but you're not seeing it until 2022 as part of the Zelda 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
What kind of makes me more optimistic about maybe seeing a Metroid HD trilogy is that it's Metroid's 35th anniversary as well this year. Surely they've got to be doing something for Metroid, even if it is that touted Samus Returns HD port.
Something that's not just forgetting about it. Yeah, maybe.
And you did say in the beginning, the first quarter, that is quarter 4, between March, you're thinking of something maybe changing on the online service. I don't think anything will change either. I don't think we'll be seeing
the price
any
will
N64. The price will go up and it'll be the same service.
Yeah.
I can't see them adding to it now. I don't know why. I can't see, Game Boy games. Come on, it look beautiful on the screen, all blown up and the edges rounded on those sprites. But no, I don't think they will. Shocking. Furukawa is going to once again state that, yes, we're looking at ways to expand the service, but nothing happens. Games, what about other games? I'll run through a quick couple of lists here. Are we going to see them, Nick? Yes or no? Punch-Out?
No.
F-Zero?
No.
Advance Wars?
No.
Star Fox?
No.
Star Fox
No.
Zero?
No.
Wii U port? No.
Nah.
Okay. Wave Race?
No way.
1080?
No.
What am I missing?
No, none of those are coming, unfortunately. I think Mario Golf's the most likely.
Yes,
just because Camelot.
I'm down for Mario Golf.
Yeah, I would be as well.
Really down for Mario Golf.
Yeah.
But as for all those ones I just mentioned as well, I agree with you. I don't think we'll see any of them, unfortunately.
No mention whatsoever.
Oh dear. Like I say, keeping my enthusiasm dampened down at the moment. Because the only game really is, as Sam's question in the beginning of this big topic stated, what game are you looking forward to this year? It is Monster Hunter. That's it. I don't think there's any other game that I'm looking forward to. Hollow Knight Silksong, yes, of course. It's a good game. But what am I really pumped for? It is Monster Hunter. That's it. That's all we know about.
Yeah.
It's very hard to get excited about anything else with just a blank. It's like a black hole, isn't it?
At the minute, I mean, that'll change. They'll reveal.
Yes.
They'll reveal stuff. Something is going to come out. And to be fair, Monster Hunter is one of those games that you can put hundreds and hundreds of hours into. So it's not all doom and gloom. Like I think it was Red Shell was on the forum saying that the only Switch game he's played this year is Animal Crossing. But when you're putting in hundreds of hours and still playing other stuff in other places on PC, for example, it's not that bad. It's unfortunate because Nintendo are losing your money and your time, but that's their fault, not ours. So what can you do?
Yeah, Capcom, come and take my money. I'm waiting to see the prices on that Capcom arcade stadium as well. See if they're worth picking up. I could buy a little arcade cabinet or something and plug my Switch into it. That'd be fantastic to do. I would love to have a really nice arcade stick. So Anything to add?
No, I think that's it. I think we've been very, very negative for the past half an hour, but
We have. Sorry, listeners, we have been negative. If you have any kind of query or saying more positive, no, what are you doing, boys? This game is coming next year. We are going to see an F-Zero. Nagoshi has been hinting at it, former F-Zero GX. He's been hinting at it. He's going to drop the goods on a new F-Zero X this year. Tell us about it in the N Europe forums there on the N-E Café thread. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a like if you've enjoyed our content. You can also check out our other great content on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and the N-E Café podcast from all good podcast providers. Just follow the links in the description below.